Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Wanted to do man. This is not going to have many parts to the series because our LXT build is basically done. So, what I did was I took our shocks. This came with new shocks. I'm saving those shocks for my double XT build. That's slowly accumulating parts and stuff over there. Got my wing wire for my J-Con for my Fan RC Graphite. I was thinking about the JC wing mounts. I checked the other ones. The logo's still wrong. Jesus Christ. Everything else over there is good. Sent Nick a pile of parts. So those are all gone. I got my wheels and my body for my LXT, so I'm going to clean those up tonight and get that body decaled with some vintage decals. But yeah, I cleaned this thing up and man, it turned out awesome. The only part that I didn't even have to replace it. I replaced it because I have OCD. Is we had kind of a chipped rear bulkhead. I found one on eBay. It also came with the rear hinge pin holder, which was basically about brand new. So I put that in. I put the hinge pin holder in, and voila, we have a fully built LXT. And I did replace a number of the bearings, so definitely rolls smoother. Reshim the axles, so there's not as much play as there was before. So those are good. I don't know. I was going to switch out the ball cups, and I still may do that. I still have the RPM ball cups, but we'll see. Have my RPM gear cover. I cleaned that up. It's over in the back, but I didn't want to put that on because, man, look how sweet that thing spins. And then I'm not a huge Losi aficionado, but I do like my Losi. So the retrofit 2.61 to 1 transmission is in there, which I guess is what's appropriate for the trucks. The 2.19 is for the buggies, and the 2.19 I shipped out to Nick, so he'll be getting that thing. Chassis cleaned up well as far as all the other parts on it. So, man, it turned out great. Our Sabula order with the white nuts came in today, so those are good. I wish there was more stuff to say about the LXT, but there's not. Everything cleaned up really easy. I took everything apart, cleaned it, polished the hinge punch, put those back in, reassembled everything, took the shocks apart, cleaned everything up on those from our double XT, refilled them with Losi oil, and man, the shocks are great, front and rear. So happy about that, and man, we'll get some wheels cleaned up and get those on here, and some new wheel bearings. I got some bearings. I keep a whole little kit full of bearings, so I have wheel bearings for this. I did order a bunch of Dragon Punch stuff for my double XT. Basically the same stuff I put in Nick's truck. I am accumulating again and getting into my double XT, but that build is going to be happening probably further down the road. There's some others. I want to race Nick's double XT and get it off to him. So that's off my plate. And I'm sure Nick would love to have it back on his plate because that truck is pretty slick. And send him a bunch of wheels, send him all the bodies I had. A new body, retrofit transmission. I sent him the Hydra drive. I basically sent him all the parts. And our LXT, I don't know. Let me know what you think, if we should race this or not. I am contemplating because everything is so nice. I don't know how much I want to beat it up or risk breaking it. But on the other hand, we race our cars on this channel, so I also don't want to be a hypocrite. The other thing I was kind of looking at is just trying to get electronics layout. I think a Hobbywing XR10 G2 will fit in this space. I think it's just going to make it in there. I'll have to check. And then obviously I think our receiver and transponder will fit just fine as well. Got to get a servo and get that in there. So I have one. I might take the one out of the double XT that I have and put it in there for now. Just to have something in there and hold the wheels straight and stuff. And I will obviously be getting something else for the double XT, and the double XT I got to replace some of the steering components, I think. So I'll run through there, but it's not a double XT video. It's an LXT video. So, Moore has a vintage call out. Looks like it's July 19th. So, it's definitely going to have two-wheel drive, and I am trying to get a number of people to do the trucks. Trying to get a 13.5 Stadium truck vintage class going there, and maybe we could see how our double XT stacks up against the vintage stuff, or maybe I just race it against regular stadium trucks. I can send Nick his, and then maybe we race the LXT, or maybe I can maybe have the double XT together. I think that's in. Man, I hope it's in good a shape as this. That'd be awesome. But if not, we could throw electronics in this. Obviously, the wheels will fit from a double XT to this, and we would be ready to go. I mean, we got a body and wheels and tires. Just have to get a servo and electronics, and that's pretty easy. That's just a couple days, and we got a little over 3 weeks to figure it out. So I think that's plenty of time if we want to get the LXT together and see that running on the channel. Or I think it is plenty of time I will probably tear down the double X this weekend and hopefully try to get it to this level as the LXT. Get it to basically a full slider, new shocks, some new goodies on there. It sounds like the only thing is like some of our Dragon Punch parts don't show up till Monday when I check tracking today. Maybe when it updates tonight, maybe miraculously it'll come Saturday. We'll see. And along with some other parts, I ordered a screw kit, ball studs. I have the RPM ball cups. It has the Technocraft turnbuckles. I'll kind of Lunsfords, but it's got the Technocraft just like this, but they're kind of mismatched in the back. So what I may do is I may see if the J Concepts from my RC10 work on the double XT if they're long enough, and maybe I'll use the J Concepts turnbuckles on that and take the Technocrafts off those and send those to Nick so he can have spares for his truck. The LXT, these are definitely shorter than a double XT, both the rear camber, the front camber, and the steering. So it's not like I could utilize them on this. Plus, these are in like super good shape. The ball cups are even pretty good. They show little signs of wear, someone using pliers or something to put them on, but like we all did back in the day, right? Until now we know better, but it looks pretty good. So everything, like I said, cleaned up well. There's not a whole lot of slop in anything. So it's nice and tight. So man, this would make an excellent runner if we wanted to run it, on that. Come the 19th, or like I said, we could run the double XT, one of those, and build up the other one. So, man, I was hoping for some more LXT content, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen because there's not much there. I'll probably do like a finish video when I have the rims, tires cleaned up. I got to clean up the body. Rob, when he sold it to me, there's a bunch of vintage decals, so I may decal that body up, vintage style. And we'll have one last video before we put the electronics probably in this, I think. I think it might be worth it. So, like I said, I'm going to put a steering servo in there just to hold the wheels straight and everything while I look over at it. But we'll see. So, the transmission's smooth, and that's all good. The diff was smooth. I just simply kind of opened it up, re-greased it, did a little maintenance. Cleaned the old stuff out, just re-greased it, put it back together, and it's great. So definitely a big thank you to Rob for selling me what he said he sold me, which was an LXT in very, very good condition. And like I said, there are no parts that have been replaced on this. It's just been taken apart, cleaned up, put back together. And like I said, I didn't have to replace the rear bulkhead, but that little chip was annoying me, and I found one on eBay. So I just decided to do that. But it looks great. Turned out well. Very happy with how well it turned out and just how everything finished. There's nothing really worn out on there. Like I said, I think the only thing I may do is replace the ball cups. I don't know. I do have original Losi ball cups, which I feel might be better suited for this than the RPM, but it does have an RPM gear cover. So maybe I'll just put the RPMs on it and call it good. But then dump a 13.5 in this thing with a hobby wing and a Protec servo, and maybe we'll get this out to more on the vintage race. So let me know your thoughts below, what you want to see. If you want to just get the double XTs out there, or you want to actually see the old school LXT out there. And pull a win like Jack Johnson back in the day with his LXT, which I believe had a protoform Lamborghini body. I don't know. I remember it being gray and red and reading about it in a magazine. And that's about the only thing I remember about any LXT news. So again, guys, more videos to come. We'll start cleaning up and working on some other projects and getting some out there and hopefully getting some race footage here pretty quick. So we will be probably racing this weekend, and then we'll race a vintage race, but we are going to try to shake down a few things, especially that thing in the back there. The Tamiya is done and ready to go. So along with everything else is refreshed, ready. So we kind of have the pick of the lot, so to speak, to take. But I plan on taking the Tamiya. I'm going to use the Cougar as a backup, and I may run that a qualifier or something just to reminisce. And then hopefully there's 13.5 Stadium truck, and we can run the double XT, and then maybe we'll run the LXT at the official vintage race on the 19th. So again, like, comment, subscribe down below, and we'll see you on the next one.